Well, hello there, my beautiful souls. Welcome on into a daily reading for you. I really got to start, switching up the beginning of these daily readings, but either way, I do want to say I wish each and every one of you had a very happy Thanksgiving if you do celebrate it. But either way, let's jump into this daily reading, and I want to get two main tarot energies. First of which on the left will be in regards to the day's overall energy. Ooh, and as I lose my breath a bit, on the right hand side, right from the middle, once again, will be your energy throughout this day. There's something about there being a lot of, I don't want to say heaviness, but kind of a little bit of a difficult energy in the air at certain points for this day, for you being drawn to this reading. It could be who you're living with, who you're working with, where you're out and about visiting temporarily. It could even be, spiritual energy naturally playing into things all the meanwhile. But I do feel that it's meant to be a day where you feel like it's like progress is being made in regards to things starting to lighten up a bit, because it's a day where we're needing to remember Mercury retrograde technically was wrapped up, okay? But we have the Moon card as well as the Emperor. Again, the day's energy as well as yours. And so the Moon card is giving me this energy where you're feeling sort of a focus coming to be at times quite heavily on the mystery within your very near future, right? It's whether you want something new to be sparked, to be landed in the near future, or it could be the future of what you're currently committed to. And it doesn't have to be limited to just one thing, but Spirit's saying, why is it that you want to crack this or figure this out, better understand this so badly? It's because a lot of you being drawn to the reading, and I can relate, are feeling and have been recently feeling a lack there of fulfillment and satisfaction with some sort of aspect of your life. And again, it doesn't have to be limited to just one area or one situation or whatever, but it just feels like Spirit saying, at times you get in your own way by wanting to clear up that mystery so badly to the point where you maybe just need to distract yourself with something else productive and worthy of your energy and time and whatnot. Or some of you need to take a step back and then you see things very intuitively, very clearly. And then there's no longer this spending of a good chunk of your time and adding heaviness to the potentials of which, okay? But again, this being your energy over here, you're serious. You're very bold throughout this day. There's a courage about you where it's like a lot of you, and again, I can relate, you thought recently and maybe solidified at least to an extent on the fact that you want to go for something better, whether it's you deserve that ideal person to date, or it could be about a better situation as far as where to reside. It could be work related for some of you. And, naturally those are three of the kind of main commitment oriented areas of our life. And so that's kind of why it's coming up. But I feel they're saying that naturally these two are coinciding at certain points in certain ways, because part of you being in this Emperor energy is you wanting to plan for the future, wanting to get ahead of things, wanting to make sure that you don't miss a beat so that things improve, so that things go better, right? I think we already said that. But things repeat in these readings for, at times, multiple reasons. And so then they're saying, while, again, we touch based upon the fact that the mystery is quite alive in regards to the near future and whatnot, and your future as a whole, right? It just leaves you in this overly kind of, I'm not messing around sort of an energy. If you look at the Lion, while again, you just find yourself at times focusing upon what you don't fully get. But I feel they're saying at times as well, this collective has certain things like a habit or two. It could be, a relationship you need to work with or through. There's just something about you needing to work on this and that otherwise, as far as reaching for improvement, progress towards maybe a better lifestyle for some of you. But that should be taking more of your attention at this point than overdoing it in this sense, okay? But let's move on to the Mermaid Tarot. Dive a bit deeper. I feel like you're going to get more done throughout this day than you expect, but then there's a sense of the energy just being, again, at times we started with this, too much, too heavy, too all over the place, right? And it's some of you wanting other people in your midst to kind of get their energy together. But then I do want to, remind you that at times you can hear the door slamming. When your voice shakes, when you are a little bit fidgety, when you're feeling a bit off, a lack there of grounded energy within you, it could be because of other people, right? Alrighty, so due to the fact that two of my roommates just came home and are part of the energy that I was speaking upon before that I will have to be dealing with, I had to step outside and record on the sidewalk here. You do what you gotta do, right? But let's do some more shuffling and see what else we get for this day. I feel like there may be a little bit of paranoia in the air. It could even, again, be other people's energy or somebody specifically, but it feels like there's the potential that being drawn to this reading, this day involves a bit of that paranoid energy for one, if not multiple reasons. And so just be aware of that, all right? Don't let things start to get to you because there's just a lot going on and the energy isn't all that, at least, all of the time. Anyways. But then the Three of Pentacles is absolutely in the upright because it feels like you're gaining attention. It feels like you are now in a spot where you can utilize certain eyes being peeled upon you more to your specific advantage, okay? And that could involve helping people all the meanwhile, but people will be watching, okay? People will be staring. And it's almost this feeling of you knowing that you're going to gain certain levels of attention and whatnot, but then you don't want it right now, or you don't want it in the ways that you're receiving it, or at least not all of them, right? Because you may be picking up on certain levels of judgment and just, for some of you, feeling other people's negative energies, And so it ends up being a day where you're needing to hone in on the fact that you deserve to manifest the right types of energies focusing upon you, okay? The right types of attention. It's a day where you need to remember that where you are physically affects your energy for the better and or for the worse, right? And from one timeline shift or jump to the next, you can find that one effect from that energy, that location can head more in the other direction. Does that make sense? Where, say, where you were living was heavily affecting you energy-wise, and now things shifted for you recently and throughout this day, and so now things are lighter, okay, less negatively affected when it comes to you. As we get a bit carried away, the Seven of Wands makes sense because a lot is coming towards you at this time. I feel that some of you have been experiencing a bit of a heaviness in regards to your spirituality, but it is a day where you need to remember where your control lies in regards to that. You can't go believing that heavy energy holds a big part in your future, okay? You can't start second guessing yourself in your path moving forward because there's a lot happening here. But let's pull one for the side for you, for the Emperor. The Ace of Wands in the reversal because you're not where you want to be yet. You're not at the point of ultimate success, that new beginning once again. There's just something about Spirit saying that you're lacking this ultimate or a decent amount of passion in regards to what's at hand. You might find little spurts of passion come and go for you with what this day actually involves commitment-wise. But it just feels like overall there's kind of a disconnected, I'm not really feeling it sort of an energy. But you need to remember that Mercury retrograde has been putting a lot of us in this kind of deep and contemplating, dissatisfied kind of energy. And so naturally, I'm sure you've heard this recently, we all will be experiencing a couple week shadow period. It happens before and after, Mercury retrograde. And so you're feeling a bit of that, it's kind of lingering forward, but dissipating to an extent. But there's a sense of Spirit saying we need to each get ready for the new. We need to feel like we're on the right track, and it may feel like you want things to speed up. You want more positive, crucial communication is what I'm getting. But it's a day where you need to recognize that things are still gonna head in the right direction, but not as quickly as we might like at this point, okay? But then you will be doing a lot of important speaking throughout this day, but it needs to come from within, and it needs to be feeling like you're growing that passion back, you're bringing it back, okay? Because the words that you speak, my friend, are important. They matter. And it ends up being a day as well where you will learn a bit more. It feels like an angel or two will come through to gift you a bit of clarity. Let's just say clarity in regards to what you're thinking about mystery-wise for the future. But why don't we leave our daily reading at that? I know it got kind of heavy as I shifted out here, but that is what I have for you. Love and light.